Is that specific to this week? Is that a focus for this week?
I think that's a focus every week. You talking about the shirt?
Yeah, takeaways.
Oh yeah, I think that's a focus every week. I think defense in today's game, you gotta find ways to get the ball. We were able to get one last week, but we got to find ways to get multiple in the game. I think those are difference makers, and winning games. A big part of that is winning the turnover margin battle, and so we put a major emphasis on it.
And they've done a good job of not turning the ball over so far this year. What kind of makes them so good at that?
I think they play very well together as an offense. It starts with Josh Allen. The offensive line plays really great together. They can run the ball well. And I think turnovers happen, takeaways happen when you have to have bigger plays, which can force throwing the ball down the field, which is more opportunities, or ball get out on the perimeter. You can force those takeaways a little bit more. And so I think they've been able to stay on schedule a lot. It's just kudos to them.
What is the challenge of facing off against Josh Allen and the running game him and James Cook have together?
I think, as I said before, they play good complementary football. I think they're able to run the ball well. Their defense creates stops. They do very good with good field position, and they're just able to stay in front of the chains a lot. And it's a very synchronous offense because they run the ball well. It's third and shorter situations, and they're never in situations where they have to force, or very limited situations where they have to force the ball. And so I think that allows them to get even more run opportunities, and they just done a good job.
When a game like last week happens, what kind of response have you noticed this week, just from guys walking in, or the way the staff responds, for instance?
Yeah, I think in today's game, you can't let one game turn into two games. It was a game that got away from us in ways that you don't like, but you look at it, you evaluate what went wrong, what could have been done different. You take the positives from it and try to find a way to build on that, and figure out, how can you be better the next week. I think the game come down to stopping the run. I think we've been doing a good job. That's one of the positives they could take away in the second half, where they really wanted to run the ball. We were able to stop the run. You got to be able to take the ball away. We got one takeaway late. That was a positive, but we try to find ways to get more. Did a much better job on third down. That's where you have to be great. I think an opportunity for us to grow is in the red zone area. We got to force field goals. And so you just look at the game from a very facts-based analysis standpoint, and that's where we're at. We're working on tightening up the things that we can tighten up and building on the things that we're doing good.
Demario, who were the most challenging quarterbacks you've ever faced as far as the threat they present when they keep a play alive and the play breaks down, but they script and is Josh Allen high on that list?
Yeah, I think he's high on that list. I think in today's game, you offenses fare better when they're able to get to that second play and be efficient at the second play. I just think defenses are so complex. That makes it very challenging for quarterbacks to know exactly where to go with their, if they're going through the progression. Some of those windows may be closed up, and those defensive ends in today's game, they're so effective at getting to the quarterback that it forces the quarterback to scramble.
Yeah.
And I think you see the guys who have a lot of success in this league are guys who can take that second play and turn it into something. And he's one of the ones that can do it. I think Josh does it just as good as anybody else, and so we have to be prepared for not just the first play, but that secondary play that can happen. And I think he's one of the most talented in doing it.
An all-time guy that you remember, man, if we don't get that guy down, he gets us.
I give respect where respect's due. It's a lot of them in today's game that does it. When I first came into the league, it was much more of a pocket present game. It was quarterbacks that could make all the reads and get the ball out. It was the Peyton Mannings, the Tom Brady's of the world. It was, like your Eli Mannings, Ben Roethlisberger. When I first came in, Aaron Rodgers was one of the few ones that could snap the ball and get out of the pocket and extend plays. He was one of the first ones I saw doing that. But I think today's game, it's much more common, and guys that do it at a high level. I think Patrick Mahomes is probably one of, if not the best to ever do it. I think Josh Allen is in that same conversation. Of course, you got Lamar Jackson and Jaden Daniels. I think the league is just full of guys who can, Jalen Hurts, Tua. It's just full of guys who can get to that secondary play and make plays. Even like Joe Burrow. It's just a lot of guys. It's more common now, and those guys that all do it at an elite level. And so it's no disrespect to any of them as not being the top guy or any extra praise on who's. It's just some guys do it very well. And I think it's more common and it's necessary in today's game.
Thanks,
I appreciate y'all.